Welcome, Sister Body. Welcome back.
Thank you, Bhumi Ben. Hello, Sister Mohini. So probably a lot of you joined the Sammelan this morning, the Sindhi Sammelan, and I just wanted to get Sister Mohini's feedback on that. What was your thinking, or what, any realization from that? Because this probably is one of the biggest gatherings that we've ever managed to have, because there wasn't a physical place that they had to go to. And I was seeing that in no time the Zoom quota had filled up, which must have been at least 1,000, and how many were on each connection. And where I was on YouTube, there was over 500 at the time I was there. So it was a very, very big gathering. And I wonder if this is indicative of anything. Did it, for you, was it just another gathering, or is there some significance?
I think that we didn't announce it in Avyakti Parivar, so I don't know if anyone was there, because we knew that the numbers will be big because the registration was coming on. But I can tell, but I don't know if Parivar at this time will be able to connect, but they can go on YouTube, I think,
Yeah.
and watch it. You know, it was like Sindhi community is very social, you know, so, and very much in culture. You must have like their songs and their devotion. They love food. They go to all the temples. They believe in everything because I think they feel it's the respect. So, but then when Jayantiben start talking about Hyderabad Sindh and whole story of Brahma Baba, I got a little bit emotional and start thinking of my early days with Brahma Kumaris, when they came to my grandparents' home, and like everything was page by page, it was turning, and I'm seeing everything, feeling everything. And so I was a bit emotional to see how in childhood as a teenager, I came to know all these daddies and also became very friendly with them, very friendly. Because since then, you know, like I would want to see, even I was young, what they need, and you know, and that's how I grew with Yagya for all the daddies, whether their medical needs, their whatever little things they need, I will be, and many of us, of course, but I really love to do that. So I think it was Dadi Janki always had this thought to serve Sindhis. They had arranged a program in Hong Kong, London, and so few places. But there was not like something consistent. But since this, I mentioned Dada Mohan, this brother left body, his wife Rachna used to come to Harmony House very regularly. They both lives in Trump Tower in Manhattan, but he was in Hong Kong and then he got sick. And some or other they asked us for meditation. I don't know how many of you are aware that in Edison and even here, like we had fixed 12 o'clock to do meditation with the families of one who is sick. Because we told them it's not we only have to meditate. The whole family has to join. And in addition, like they did, and one or two, they got well, but one left body. but their families are still continuing to. Then we offer them meditation course, and so same is happening. Anjali Ben continued 3 times a week, 3 days a week, but also I used to join them. And this is where, and in that group also there were people from India, Hong Kong, different, their family. And actually their family has connection with Sister Rosie. So Sister Rosie's brother was in St. Thomas, and I also was much in touch with that family. So I think somewhere that seed was there, Dadi's thought, and Dadi's, we completing 6 months of Dadi's becoming angelic. And I feel so strongly that Dadi's make, like I said 2 days ago, that ancestor souls, my feeling is, which I am very clear now, is making things happen through us, whatever couldn't happen at that time. So I feel that each one of us have to be really very ready. Let them use us. My body, my mind, my wealth, anything, they are getting Baba's task accomplished through us. And I really start feeling very proud that that's good, because that Janki used to say a few things I didn't do. Dadi Prakash Mani said few things, and now they're making that happen through us. So it's like extra privilege for all of us to see. That is Baba's task, but ancestor souls are using us. So today's program also felt like Dadi's thought. And two ways, I was thinking that, which I am planning for next, to make it little more spiritual. When I say everyone was, so it was not about Sindhi community, it is not about Brahma Kumaris, but it could have been little bit more where people could have experienced little more. But I think that they served VIPs of the community, they served or reminded those who were connected with Baba, so they served in multi-purpose way. But definitely, I was very moved, and I thought it's a very good thing, which we will see how we continue. These days, very easy to start a program, but main challenge is to keep it together, in the sense of keep doing it again. Like we have started this children, little children of BK families. They are between 8 to, and their numbers are growing. Teachers are there, but it needs lot of time and planning and coordination. So but I think some way we will continue. But I think overall it went on very well, Unmute yours.
Oh, they muted me. Yeah, the time went by very, very quickly, and it was very, it flowed very, very nicely. And
there were 26 items. Brother, Zoom brother Narayan, he was telling me that it was like, and Anoli is the one who did all videos and everything. It went very well.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. And I was just wondering, because in a way that by being on this medium, it's like it's happening in another dimension in a way that it couldn't in the physical world. And so I was just wondering if, always looking for signs of what Baba says, as it was in the beginning, so it will be in the end. And so there was a sense from the program today that finally the Sindhis are waking up and paying attention and really seeing, what the Brahma Kumaris is and who Brahma Baba was, and the teachings that he gave, and that they're proud of the fact that they're also associated with it. And so I don't know if, as in the beginning, it was the Sindhis who were the first ones to respond to God's coming, Is it now the time that will happen again? Is this a sign that it's happening again? That they're starting, the Sindhis are starting to come. So, Sister Mohini, I was thinking about the subtle region, which is what today's topic is. And there's many things that we take for granted simply because we've been hearing them for so long. But I was wondering if maybe a primer, going back over the whole thing, might be a useful exercise in terms of, and I have variety questions and I can give them all to you at once and then you can just flow from that. And part of it is the creation of the subtle region, the sustenance of the subtle region, and how will we know that the door's closed, because if it was created, then it has to finish. And so just looking at it kind of from a historical perspective, could you maybe speak to that? Because they didn't, my understanding that it was really through Daddy Gulzar as a little child that they came to be the awareness of the subtle region. Let me turn this off, sorry. So could you maybe speak to that a little bit?
See, originally when Yagya started, and so the role of subtle region is that sisters will have vision of golden age, life of golden age, and we have heard that they will create costumes like that, and Baba will, basically it was really to, as they were all together for so many years, every evening they will have how there will be crown ceremony, what they will eat, all kinds of golden age, all the scenes of golden age were shown. And they will come and, tell, and then they were sisters who were tailors, they will get their costume staged, and you must have seen some of those photos of Yagya. And then later on, it was like more Baba through Santri Dadi, not through Dadi Gulzar. Through Dadi Gulzar was more on revealing more about tree and, all kinds of knowledge aspects. But personal directions, Baba will take through. Santri Dadi was Baba's personal trans messenger, Vishwa Kishore Babu's wife. And so Baba will say whatever directions internally about Yagya, Baba's, next step, travel, everything was through Santri Dadi. So it was like very actively, Baba will keep sending messages. She will go to trance and bring the message. So Dadi Gulzar played very important role, and then Santri Dadi was, and there was third one. Her name was Sandeshi. The name was Sandeshi, means messenger, and she is the one who used to play with Baba a lot, and very light-hearted person. And she will also bring some messages. Later on, I think when I came, that also was almost beginning of when they came from Pakistan to Mount Abu. Then I joined. And when I came, it was basically also was, messages about Yagya, about, so it was also sharing, take message, bring back message. But with me, I found that it was very actively more, Baba was more talking about his angelic state. But then Baba also keeps saying, after some time, that when Baba became aware, they don't need angelic Brahma there, right? And then Baba said, Shankar doesn't have part anyway. So gradually it's like keep reducing or diminishing the different part of the subtle region. Then it became like, Thursday, quick bhog, Baba will say, go, come, go, because there was lot of them. They will, when they were very pulled by subtle regions, they go in super sensitive joy and they will do a lot of ras. Or they will look at Brahma Baba in their stage of perfection and run towards Baba. So gradually Baba wanted also that to reduce. So that connection with subtle regions. And then it really remained as offering of bhog and Baba, what Baba has to share, unless there are some, very important things where Dadi Gulzar, like Ramesh Bhai, will give list of things to get approved. Then it came hospital, then, whatever activities were happening, and they will tell Dadi Gulzar to go and ask Baba. So Baba will just give very clear direction. So it was gradually reducing. And then, of course, now we know that Baba is aware. There are so many ancestor souls. They are aware. So, as I'm saying, it's really in the last part. Time is short, but also the part of subtle regions is also very few souls really go there and communicate with Baba. But still, Baba wants all of us to experience, in our angelic form and subtle regions. When doors will close, I think they will close. But when exactly, I don't think. But I feel, I always tell them that it's getting less and less now. Maybe Baba wants to see us in angelic form and doesn't need to be there in subtle regions. And then also part is changing, no? Brahma Baba's part will also change. And then there won't be need of subtle regions. But then when we are returning home, we still will pass from there. And that will be like final, helping us to, make us perfect, in the sense of, if there are any little settlement has to happen, it's just the signal. There won't be like punishments and all that. But even in subtle regions or towards the end, 1 minute of regret that I could have done more is kind of punishment, because you can't do anyway. That's what I also see, that if you haven't been able to transform or do as much you could have done from your good stage, then all that karmic account which is left, Baba just needs to give signal. But that's where some souls will internally like feel that pain or kind of punishment. So it will be very, very subtle. That is why at least I remain very careful how everyone can be happy, how not create any kind of karmas even through the thoughts or through words, so that when I am passing from there, then I don't have to regret. I just have done maximum best to glorify Baba, be a good child of Baba, good server. So in the end, there will be this part. And ultimately, still we will feel Baba's love before we go home. This is what my feelings are. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, Daddy doing a class in Madhaban, and I think it had to do with Dharmaraj Puri or whatever. And so I asked her afterwards, Daddy, what are you going to do when your friends come in front of you in Dharmaraj Puri? And Daddy looked at me with such a serious look on her face, and she said, Waddy, why do you think I'm making so much effort on all of you now? So in other words, that she wouldn't have to see us pass through that stage. I was wondering, did you have any of these types of experiences before Gyan?
What kind you mean?
The subtle
Trans.
region. They're I mean, from our perspective, they're kind of visionary in a way. You get images, you get messages, and even though, of course, the subtle region wouldn't have been available to you and that you didn't have Gyan yet, but did you have an inclination? Did you have, you know, some kind of otherworldly experience even before coming back to Baba?
Yeah, I was a devotee of Sri Krishna, and of course we have all deities in our temple, big temple at home. But I personally communicated with the flame and Sri Krishna
Interesting.
because we used to light diya. And I don't know how in my Lokik family, because when I used to do night aarti to make them sleep or final puja, and so they will say, you will ask God, something. I said, well, I don't know. They felt that I could communicate. So I had some kind of, relationship with that flame, Diya. And I will say that if you think this is right, the flame should shake. If you think it's not right, so I will look at that flame and get the answers. And also with Krishna, I also had like, okay, if you will smile, then I will say yes. So I used to do, get all that kind of communication in my thoughts were from God because I saw light as a God.
Mm.
And and then everyone like in the family will say, okay, can you ask this? Can you ask this? So I will say, okay, let's see. I will try to get the signal. So I think, and then when I came in Gyan, I just not heard much, but I could just sit for 2, 3 hours early morning, just sit in intoxication and, very, very deep experiences with Baba, not knowing Baba as Baba. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I had little bit of that tendency of communicating with God, understanding of some of the signal through images. So then, of course, in the beginning also, when one start going in trance, you only get visions, You don't understand, you don't say anything. And then gradually, communication begin and a time comes when you are able to take message and bring message. And now also, it's not really up to me, but whenever there is the need, you really hear very clearly what Baba wants us to do at this time. So I would say yes, in the path of bhakti, I had a very special personal connection with God in whatever form I believe.
And what was the requirement for approving different sisters and in some cases brothers as sandeshis, as messengers?
Yeah,
What was the qualification?
yeah. Baba will invite, I can say from my experience, and Baba will give drishti, and I will go in trance. Mostly it used to be Amrit Vela, early morning, and then later on I was told that Santri Dadi will be sitting on that bed, mattress, and she will know how far we going
Hmm.
and are we communicating or not. And then she will come and tell Baba that she did reach there. No, as I told you in the beginning, when we used to take bhog, we will meet each other in the sky. Oh, you taking bhog, you taking bhog. So,
Really?
yeah, we used to see each other. Let's say if 10 trans messengers are going, everyone has their tray, they going. And we used to see each other. It was very funny, in the sense of when I think of that, because that doesn't happen. And then it's so interesting that Brother Jagdish, at that time, one time they did in public, Dadi Gulzar and myself, we had to offer bhog. And Jagdish Bhai always want to see that what message I got, what she got. And so message will be same, but the way our interpretation in the sense of if Baba is showing me something and the way she will describe or way I will describe. But we found that it was really kind of same message. But I always say also the timing, no? If two trans messengers generally doesn't happen. I know few times that the Gulzar and I, we had to do it together. And it was matching, message also. So it's like Daddy will tell Baba and then they will officially declare that yes, this one is Baba's trans messenger. So there were many who used to offer Bhog and get visions, but not necessarily the messages. I think it's amazing when I think how it happens until now. In the sense when I am there or I am offering, because I am very much pulled and I am there with Baba, and how everything, even Baba, now I can't hear sound, but I could hear every word, it's like so clear.
Is there a difference in your experience now? In the same way as you said earlier, that there are still some things left undone, if you like, that the daddies had encouraged you for, and now feeling that they're helping you to finally do it. Were there any things in terms of messages in the subtle region, any experiences that you had there that you kind of just took for granted, and that now looking back on it, you should have done something about it, or that you didn't pay as much attention to it as what you should have?
I think that it was never directions for me particular, when I go. Because one of the principle to adopt was not to go for personal directions,
Okay, beautiful.
So in the beginning, like, oh, you have given exam, Baba can tell you, but I won't ask Baba. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
Baba had hinted, I think, don't use it for personal, directions. So all the directions came really was for Yagya and for all of us. And mostly directions came through Dadi Gulzar. The messages are different than directions. So
Yeah.
directions came through Dadi Gulzar because she was the one as, first official trans messenger. And then messages, yes, that it comes through some of us.
And so when you might have been in Madhaban during Sakhar Baba's days, and you were offering bhog, you were meeting Aviyak Baba in the subtle region, you were offering bhog to him. What was the experience of Sakhar Baba at that time? What part did he play?
I think Baba used to sit with us now. On one side, Baba will sit, other side, Mama. In between, the trans messenger will sit. So I think that definitely offering was to the subtle regions, subtle Brahma. That's where we offered. I don't know what Brahma Baba felt. I never asked, but
I would have been curious.
yeah. But they both used to sit with us to offer. Like we all offering to Baba. No, they both were like offering to Baba. So actually it is to Shiv Baba. No, we offer. We don't offer to Brahma. We offer to
Right,
Shiv.
but his form was there, no?
Yeah, that time
Yes.
in the subtle form of Brahma.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And, I've even heard Daddy say at times, that she'd never had visions, although we would see her sometimes go into semi-trance, especially when she was dancing. And although the majority of us do not have the kind of experience that of which you're speaking, yet we do have subtle experiences. And so what is the distinction? And even amongst, Sandeshis, there's such a variety, some you just feel like as if they're telling you about a dream they had the night before. And with another one, there will be substance. There'll be something of that's really solid that you can use, rather than just telling you about the decoration or whatever else. So, like for instance, when you're meditating normally, you're not going into trance, right?
No, no, no.
What is the difference in your experience in the subtle region when you're just sitting for yoga and
But
when
there
you're offering both?
it's so interesting that there is no thought, no effort. I don't remember Baba even. As soon as I sit to offer both, I'm completely silent and feel pulled, and I'm with Baba. And these days, like some people ask me, oh, before you all used to get jerked, so you didn't get jerked, so did you go? I said, still I go because I know my way. And Baba calls me, and there is no need to have jerk, but because I could just, Baba invokes and communicates so clearly. And now everyone's intellect is different. Even when people are giving knowledge, some will emphasize on certain points and certain examples. So our intellects are different. So even when we go to subtle region, what I see and then I describe, and so I think Baba also with everyone is different, because if intellect cannot catch what Baba is saying, so that is why I think there is some difference where Baba also gives us the experience in subtle region. Maybe Vaudiman, you can share one of your subtle experience, as you are mentioning that you have also subtle experience. Can you share one?
Well, just in general terms, the feeling first of subtlety, it's not so much, I can bring up images, almost like giving yourself a meditation commentary, and have the awareness of Avyek Baba, or of my own form. But I think different from that would be where, and very often it will happen when I'm on the guddy, and sometimes particularly on a Thursday. And it's not so much that I'm seeing images and pictures and things, but it's like something comes like a gift, and it will be a way of looking at a point of knowledge or understanding something that I hadn't understood before. It's kind of like as if something's just dropped into, and I suppose I would have to say, and I was going to ask you, is it always about the intellect, Because I wonder if there aren't also souls who may not be known for a very big intellect, but because of a bhavna or something, that they have those intense experiences as well.
No, experiences could be with bhavna, but
Yeah,
understanding of the message
yeah,
is on definitely on intellect.
yeah. And so for me, these are, and I was doing class today with Covent Garden, and sharing that aspect, like they were asking about, how do you sustain yourself? And that really is one of the things. And I would have to say it's realizations, that come when I sit for meditation, when I sit with Baba, that's something that I couldn't have thought about or understood or whatever under normal circumstances. It will suddenly come with great clarity. That for me would be like the subtle experience.
That means the intellect, when you are with Baba, remembering Baba, becomes subtle intellect. So insights, clarity, new points,
Yeah,
they just drop. As
they
you said,
drop.
drop, you feel like that.
Yeah,
I, yeah, I also get a lot of subtle insights through,
yes,
yeah. Because at that time our intellect is very subtle, very pure. When I said intellect, really means So when it's sato and pure, then these pure realizations come. And of
Mm.
course, it's from Baba also, signals.
Really, and that to me is like a gift. It's really a gift, because just in churning ordinarily, I couldn't have arrived at that. That it
Mm.
just comes, it drops in like a pearl being dropped into a, you know, a pot or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's beautiful.
yeah. Um, so I don't think anymore that it's about people being trained to be Sandeshis, or is it being encouraged, or
No, no.
I don't
It,
think
it's
so.
really,
Yes.
it's really a gift from Baba or part. Baba used to say, it's your part, you play.
Yeah.
So
And
Baba never
will you?
really emphasize a lot on this, because see, a lot of then people were forcing themselves, they were really doing it, which was not right. So Baba had to kind of, because, you are really in a way out of control at that time. But
Mm,
when you have pure intellect, then you remain, you have to remain connected with body and also go up. So there could be lot of subtle influences which
that
were
was
happening.
something I was going to ask you about. How do you protect yourself? The difference in the astral plane and the subtle region, and where there could be interference.
No, but if you don't have any desire in the self,
Beautiful,
like, oh, I
beautiful.
want to be recognized, everyone should believe in my message. You trying to prove something, so there is a
Yeah.
subtle desire and subtle ego involved in that, and that is where influences come. So
Oh,
Baba,
interesting.
Baba gave us few signals like not to use for personal, or Santri Dadi, she will tell us, not to have any desire. So, and also to keep intellect in a way very untouched, even you have information of many things, but that divinity, divine and pure intellect, so sometimes like I find people bombard me with ideas, opinions, I just shut down, in the sense of, that's okay, that's enough. I just want to keep my intellect up to here. Why? Because I want to maintain that purity, that divinity, and not go into too much expansion of many, many ideas, many things. So I listen everything, but not, like some people, if they, they go somewhere and believe in something, they mix into their ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, these days also, I feel very pure knowledge, experiences, what I saw in Yagya, not bring in a lot of other intellectual stuff.
Yeah, we feel that
So,
from you, Mohini Ben.
so I,
And just one thing, and I know we've overshot time, but sometimes when you come back with your messages, then you will indicate in a way that whatever the gathering is, that you've seen the whole gathering. But are you aware, or how are you aware of us in the subtle region? Do
no,
you
because
see us in
Baba,
our angelic form, or it's more a feeling?
yeah, no, Baba shows each one face is same. You all are same up there, but just the form of light. So I recognize, I can see it's our gathering, or, so unless Baba wants to show unlimited gathering, but if it's from the class, you all have same features and everything, but
Mm.
in the light, form of light. So I could recognize, that's why I say
Mm.
you all were there. So Baba can invoke, no, all of you in your angelic form there, right?
Yeah.
And that also is like, it's your angelic form is like very pure, the image is so clean and it's light and transparent and it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
So when I see you all in angelic form, you all look very, very beautiful.
He has all our pictures up there, right?
Anyway, it's so nice that we are able to chat and
Yeah.
meet the family, and otherwise we would have met maybe once in few months, but now we're meeting every evening now.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Sister
Yeah.
Mohini.
Thank you. Thank you, Waddy Ben.